Friends, I owe you a wedding update video, and yeah, I have bangs now. Did you see the vlog? Go check it out if you haven't. I'm gonna pull these out of the way while we talk about everything good that happened at my wedding, but we also have some tea. Starting off strong with the morning of, we stayed the night together. We had family in town all leading up to the day of the wedding. We picked up the cake Thursday. We had an Airbnb for my in-laws. The morning of the wedding, my mom went and got her hair done first, and then she came to me. I did her makeup. Then we met up at the salon where my mother-in-law was finishing up her hair and makeup. My sister was there, and my longest running friend, Haley. We had some fruit, 7 Brew, got our makeup done, and then headed to the venue. Once at the venue, we unloaded some things, and I kept trying to set up my Echo Dot, but it wouldn't connect, which was so annoying. But honestly, it was really chaotic anyway, so that was fine. My husband, now husband, fiance at the time, was upstairs. He was super anxious. I was super anxious. The photographer was getting shots. It was just pure chaos. No matter how much you plan, no matter what you do, it's just chaos because things happen and people are human. But it wasn't bad. It was good. I was on the ground floor and we got married outside, so I got to watch all of the guests arrive and pull up and choose their spots. There was a piano where we had photo ops. I'll insert photos if I remember to do so because I am filming this in the future. If you guys have seen my husband, you already know that this is so fitting, but he walked down the aisle to I'm Lost Without You by Blink-182, and he carried a single red rose and set it on the chair that would have been where my father would sit if he was alive. Walked down the aisle to my all-time favorite band, Pearl Jam. It was an orchestra version of the song Better Man. I would have chose a different song, but it was the only song I could find an orchestra version of, and we just didn't have time to hire someone to do that for us. I made little varsity flags for everyone to wave after we got married. We both wrote vows, and we both had Star Wars and Lord of the Rings references in our vows, which was unplanned and really funny, but very iconic if you ask me. My husband spoke in German, and my grandma literally thought he was speaking Similarian. Is that what it's called? I think it's the Lord of the Rings language. We had a pretty small wedding. I think we invited around 85. We had 67 RSVP, and I think we had 52 show up. We had 6 no-shows the day of, which everyone told me to prepare for, but I genuinely was not expecting that many. 2 got sick. 2 told me the day before they weren't coming. 1 just legit no-show. 2 different people just legit no-showed, no call, nothing. And yes, those were people who did RSVP. And yes, I did notice, but it really wasn't that big of a deal. We walked out after we got married to Bonzo Goes to Bitburg. I let my husband choose what song we walked out to because I knew we were doing a grand entrance to a song that I chose, so I kind of let him have the reins on that. But it was really fun, and he just wanted a song that has always made him happy and will always continue to make him happy when he hears it, which I think it was perfect. We did the Parent Trap handshake to Soulful Strut, which is the song from the Parent Trap, when we walked in as our grand entrance. We took some photos in between, and for the Sips and Snacks hour, which is what we called it, we had Krispy Kreme cater custom M&Ms and custom Oreos, and it was iconic. We didn't have any dancing at our wedding, and we don't regret it one single bit. We had everyone do speeches, so after we did that little intro, my husband wrote a speech and said it and welcomed everyone. Then we did something we called guest awards that I seen on TikTok, where we kind of just awarded each guest for longest distance traveled, shortest distance traveled, longest friend, newest friends, last to get married, next to get married, and so on. The crowd seemed to actually really like that. It was fun. And then I did my welcome speech, which ended with me dedicating my bouquet to my mom and then going into a dedicated song for my dad. And then I handed the mic off to Jordan's dad. So after the song played that I dedicated to my dad, instead of him having the ability to say a speech because he can't, because he's literally dead, then Jordan's dad went, then my mom, then Jordan's mom, and then my sister, well, the best man, and then my sister, who wrote a poem for me. It was so special and so surreal. Then we kind of made our rounds, ate dinner, tried to chat with tables, then we cut the cake, and I played I Wanna Grow Old With You by Adam Sandler for our wedding cake song. Pretty much our entire wedding playlist was majority 80s. When we sent our thank yous out, this was my husband's idea, but we printed off the Spotify code for our wedding playlist and slipped it in there on a little piece of paper so that everyone had access to be able to listen to our wedding playlist. because we did put so much time and effort into it, and we emphasized music so much in our lives. We wanted others to have the ability to like relive our wedding playlist. We didn't have a DJ. We actually hired a friend to be an MC, and then my father-in-law just announced everything for us. So we had one person like on the laptop just controlling all of the dedicated playlists we made for each song, with like a very detailed shot by shot, time by time, frame by frame, action by action, playlist to playlist for the music, if that makes sense, for our MC, who was a good friend of mine and my husband's. He met him through work. My mom actually also worked with him for a short period of time, but it was perfect. And then Jordan's dad just announced everything for us. He's retired Air Force, so that worked out really well. The cake was so good. I had so many people coming up to me asking where we got it. We last minute decided, instead of getting it from Sam's, that I was going to hire my friend, my really good friend's. She has a cake person. I guess it's her family friend or something like that. But we had her cake at a birthday party for my friend's son a few weeks prior, and I was like, I've never liked cake in my life, and this is the best cake I've ever had, and we have to have it at our wedding. And so I made that happen. I have so much tea to tell you guys, because these are the things that went right, but there are so many things that also went wrong. Now, they did not affect my day or my mood, but they did really irk me about a week after the wedding, when I allowed them to irk me, because I genuinely just like put it in the back of my brain until I was ready to process it. I think I'll make an entire separate video on that, so if you guys are curious, if you want to see the negative of what happened, let me know. Something kind of dramatic happened, to the point I'm thinking of making its own dedicated video on it, because I feel like other people should be aware, and it does involve a vendor. But I've been sitting on that for a while, because it's not my normal way of going about things. Like, I don't really post or talk about my experiences with businesses when they're not positive. After we left the wedding, we had a big after party at our house, but not before we stopped at Quick Trip and got some sodas, and then went to McDonald's and got a McDonald's fry. We weren't hungry, but Jordan's parents had went to McDonald's after their wedding, so we kind of wanted to keep the tradition alive. We saved the receipt and put it in our shadow like wedding memory box that my mom got us, so that we can remember how much a large McDonald's fry cost when we got married. And then we had like 40 people or so in our home, just like eating s'mores and hanging out and playing board games, and just like scattered all around the floor of our home. It was beautiful and amazing. And then everyone the next day went to the zoo, and then even though it was raining, then the rain stopped, but it was muddy, and we played a huge game of kickball in the mud, and came back to our house again and barbecued, had s'mores again, had a dirty soda bar. We just played board games and chatted, and just soaked up every second of having over 8 different people from over 8 different states, 2 from Utah, 2 from Colorado, Las Vegas, Texas, Georgia, everywhere, Michigan. It was quite literally iconic and beautiful, and there are so many details that I wasn't even able to fit into this video, and I knew that's how it was gonna go, but I owed you guys at least a snippet of an update of like my experience and my wedding, so I wanted to do this get ready with me. We actually fly out for Yellowstone this evening. I don't know when you'll be seeing this video, but I'm doing my makeup for the airport right now. I might actually have a bride's wedding makeup to do. Long story short on why that's a maybe, and why I don't know if I'm for sure going yet or not, but I'll know in the next 59 minutes or not if I'm going to do her makeup before the airport, and if so, your girl needs to be ready. But let me know if you have any questions specifically about things, and I definitely plan to make more content about things I don't regret, things I do regret, and all of the tea.